become legal. And there's only 1 month left in the program.
So
So we're trying to get people.
To do it now.
This the man who does it.
Yes.
Very good. It's a very good.
Yeah.
Keep it clean.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
This is Patrick Kingery.
How you doing?
Who's been
Very good.
qualifying all the
Ready?
The purpose of this gathering is to proclaim April 5th in our city as Amnesty Day for all of the citizens who have come to this country from other countries and who really have been invited by our government to come in and register and begin to work and be a part of the citizenry of this city. We first want to introduce a public service announcement that will be playing around the area for a while, and then I'll turn the program over to Mr. Tom Fisher. You want to turn the lights out and we'll get the...
These young people have just opened a new door in their lives. They've registered with the Immigration Service Amnesty Program. The program entitles them to work and live in a free society and eventually to apply for American citizenship. Registering does not result in relatives being those on your future. Register through the INS Amnesty Program. The deadline is May 4th.
I'd like to now present Mr. Fisher, of the District Director of Immigration and Naturalization Services, and ask him to come to the podium and say more about the program.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I would like to take this time and this opportunity to personally thank the Mayor for the fine support that he and his staff are giving to this program. I think it's an important program. It's a one-time program. The bottom line for basically the individuals who apply are these 2 cards. And these cards will allow someone to work in this country legally and also to reside in this country legally. We've had over 15,000 people in the Atlanta district so far come forth. And we're very confident that with the mayor's support and the city's support and the state's support that we'll have more individuals. We're anticipating by May 4th to have many more people come into our area. We have worked extremely closely with the Catholic Social Services. They've been extremely helpful, and we're encouraging people to either visit their office or to visit our office in Decatur, Georgia on Columbia Drive. Our office also will be participating on April 4th in the Atlanta Braves opening day parade. We'll be having information booths, for example, at the South Lake Mall on April 30th, and we're also doing our own public service announcement campaign. Thank you very much.
Any questions
Any
about
questions?
this?
Are there minimal qualifications for this amnesty program?
Yes, there are. There are 2 programs, actually. There are the programs for those people who have resided in this country prior to January 1982, and then we have what we call a Special Agricultural Workers Program for those individuals who have resided and have worked for a period of 90 days over the last number of years. We're encouraging anyone who feels they are eligible to make an application. There won't be, as the mayor indicated, any harassment, recrimination, discrimination upon anyone. The information is totally held in confidence and will only be used for the processing of an application. If one is found not to be eligible, then that individual will be so notified, and that's where the system stops. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Let me present this proclamation to you and thank the Catholic Social Services Agency for aggressively establishing the kinds of contacts with people in our community who really need to be welcomed and need to be helped. And I'd also like to thank Immigration for this amnesty program. I think it's a very positive step toward fulfilling the ideal that we see on the Statue of Liberty.
I agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd like to ask Patrick Kingerly to come forward and also accept this. He represents the Catholic Social Services, and I think, as the mayor indicated, that I think it's a team effort, and I think as Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty so exemplify, that this is another positive step in our country.
Maybe I should say something else, that normally people have gone to lawyers and had legal fees of hundreds, even thousands of dollars, trying to accomplish what immigration is now offering free between now and May 4th. So I'd like to urge everybody to come on in, and if you're not qualified for this status, there will be no recriminations. Nobody's going to take your name and harass you afterwards. It really is a free ride, and I hope that everybody that's not a citizen of the United States that's living in our city will come in and qualify during the next week or two.
Thank you very much. Very good. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Outside of this program, any visitors you got coming in or people like that, just give them a call and we'll make sure that your report and things like that are taken care of. I'll give you my card.
Anything else? Else like to talk about anybody else for anything else for our leave? We're it's the same question. Who wants to phrase it?
How do you respond to Guy Davis' accusations as strictly political?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I heard about Mr. Davis' remark, and I heard about Officer Watson's suspension on the news. In fact, I didn't even hear it on the news. I heard about it from my wife. And I can say that this is something that is related to the police department. I had no prior knowledge. I didn't give my permission to do it. I didn't ask that it be done. And it has nothing to do, I think, with the issue of his being involved with me, and it certainly had nothing to do with my visit to Pool Creek. I saw that visit as a very good visit, an opportunity for me to see citizens of this community, citizens who incidentally come in here all the time, and who wanted me to come to meet with them in their community. And it was very routine. I frankly thought it was a very friendly meeting and did not feel that there was anything hostile about it. I think people have a right to be upset when their relatives are killed. And I could only express the sympathy of the city in that situation.
Yeah. How do you see Jesse Jackson's candidacy affecting the political aspirations of other minorities? Do you think that it's going to encourage other people to run for office?
Well, I think that one of the really positive things about Jesse Jackson's candidacy is the fact that it is exciting people about politics in general. I think it will encourage more people to vote. It will encourage people to run at the local level. And I think it also is defining issues that are basically universal issues. When he says stop drugs, keep jobs, invest in your children, there's absolutely nobody in America hardly that can disagree with him. And that kind of universal message is addressing one of the main concerns of the people in the world today. More people are concerned about their teenagers right now, and a strong America means stopping drugs. We figure President Reagan has stopped the Russians. And so the whole issue of the campaign, relating it back to local issues and people's everyday concerns, I think is one of the reasons for the success of his candidacy.
About 3 weeks ago, Paul Kirk said that within a few weeks the party would start lining behind the front runner. Do you see that happening now, and is that front runner this year?
Well, the front runner was Jesse Jackson yesterday. Today it's Dukakis again. And I don't see anybody lining up pretty much until we get a little further. We've got a lot of the delegates selected, but you've still got to go to New York, to Wisconsin, to Pennsylvania, and California, 3 of our biggest states. And so I think somewhere along the line, people will begin to raise the question, who is it that I would rather run with as the head of the ticket? And I think that will be whoever happens to be the best vote getter.
Mr. Mayor, do you think that, as some people allege, that the Democratic Party might not support Jackson should he get the nomination, or come in with the nomination, and that there may even be some efforts to try to thwart that before it happens?
Well, you have to remember that there was a Stop McGovern campaign, there was a Stop Carter campaign, anybody but Carter, and anytime there's a candidate that is not the choice of the party bosses, there's an effort to stop that candidate. There was an effort to stop John Kennedy. So that's just part of American politics. I think they'd be discriminating against Jesse if they didn't express their concerns about him as the front runner of the ticket. He ought to be treated and as much like any other candidate as possible, and that's what's necessary to make the system work. But let me just say, though, that I think in the final analysis, just as the party supported John Kennedy and McGovern and Jimmy Carter and Fritz Mondale, it will support the person who comes into the convention and puts together the majority.
I'm sorry, if I can return to that once.
Sure.
For just a moment. Do you expect any further legal action watching this part?
I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. I have not talked to the commissioner or the chief, and I don't know the reasons for the suspension. It really is police business that I don't usually get involved in.
And you have the plans to get?
No, I don't. I mean, anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.